Hey, it's Hardwick and Richards, Extra 1360, Fox Sports San Diego. Stephen Woods, Woodsy as we like to call him, as I've known him forever, is in for Judson Richards, who's doing a little bit of fly fishing out in Crested Butte, Colorado. Won't hold Colorado against him.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful out there. We're going to get a lot of pictures. He's at Judson 1360. Yeah, he likes to come off as that.
Yeah, he does.
But I don't know if he's really that manly because he won't slay these fish. He catches them, and then he releases the thing.
It's like Scraby said earlier. He's the Andy Green of fishermen.
I don't know how I feel about this. He's so nice. He's non-combative. I don't know. Let's ask Rocky Long what he thinks of this. San Diego State head football coach. What do you know about basketball, Coach?
That they have to put it in a little hoop, and it counts 2 or 3 points depending on where they shoot it from.
That's the extent of
That's
it right
extent.
there, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Are you a fly fisherman?
A little bit. I just got back from fly fishing in northern New Mexico and Colorado just a little while ago.
And how'd you do?
I did fine, except it was all catch and release, so I didn't have a choice whether to slay the fish or not.
Now, you seem like a savage type guy. Are you the kind of guy that if it weren't catch and release, that you would just go ahead and pull out your pocket knife and just cut that thing open?
I think if it wasn't catch and release, we would eat that fish, yes.
You would have pocketed a few of those things?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Good for you. I was going to tell you, Joe Tiller, I don't know if you know Joe Tiller.
I know Joe Tiller very well.
He was my head football coach at Purdue University.
Right.
Joe's sick right now. Joe's had some heart issues, and I believe he's got some liver issues going on. A little sick right now. But I got to warn you, because I see you falling in love with fly fishing. Joe always had this vision in his head of him retiring from football, and he has this cabin in Buffalo, Wyoming, with a stream running through it. He's got a couple houses on it. He always envisioned himself going out there and fly fishing daily. This was Joe's wild fantasy that he had as a head football coach. Turns out I had him to the house about a year and a half ago. Joe doesn't like fly fishing that much. I said, how's that fly fishing going, Joe? He said, not really doing too much of it. Rocky, anybody you can point to in your coaching career, like a Joe Tiller, that you would say, I wanted to be like that guy when I was younger?
Certainly. You know, I think that the biggest influence on my football career was my dad, but I worked for a guy named Don Matthews. Nobody might know who he is, but he was a head coach in the Canadian League for a while, and I worked for him up there, and I thought he was the most inventive defensive guy that ever been around. In fact, you're old enough to know this. When Arizona played what they called their Desert Swarm defense.
Yeah. Teddy Bruschi was there.
That was Don Matthews' defense originally from the Canadian League.
Really?
Yeah. And
they did a little bit of a two-down defensive line?
Well, it's a four-man front, but one of them is, in Arizona, they even put it in a three-point stance. He was flexed off the ball, and at most of the time he was a linebacker. So it was a form of a 3-4, but they lined up like a 4-3, and then obviously they did a bunch of stunts and all those kind of different coverages. And the flex guy, which you were talking about, the flex guy covered people out of the backfield. He was second on a contain rush or something like that. Mm-hmm.
We would call that amoeba. That was that amoeba defense.
There you
that kind
go.
of Rex Ryan amoeba. It's like this ever-flowing thing, and you can't get your hands on it at all. Really difficult. Woodsy.
Yes.
You ready to rock?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
You ready to go to Sky Show?
I can't wait. It'll be my first. I was never allowed because I work for a different company.
Oh, you couldn't go to Sky Show?
Yeah, you got to, ride for your own brand.
All right, so, Coach, really you're in to promote Sky Show and to promote some single-game tickets. Sky Show kicks off Aztec football season during Labor Day weekend. Saturday, you'll be happy to know, September 2nd is my birthday. I'll be 36 years old. San Diego State versus UC Davis. Game starts 5:30. Sky Show fireworks following the game. What can fans expect this season?
Well, I hope they expect that we're going to be good like we have been the last few years.
I do.
And, since the Sky Show has been our biggest day ever, it's the first game of the year, which makes it important to us. But I guess the fireworks afterwards, I don't get to see them. But our players run out of the locker room so they can see them.
Just to go watch?
Yeah, just to go watch the fireworks. But they better play well before they do that. But we get great crowds. And everybody seems to have a good time. And hopefully, since we have a 7-game home schedule this year, we'll play well enough that we hook them that they want to come back.
There's going to be a lot of hooking. How are you going to replace Donnell Pumphrey this year?
Oh, well, we might have a better running back that was the backup last year in Rashad Penny.
Wow.
In fact, we were lucky that he stayed with us for another year because he was rated our number one NFL prospect last year.
Why did he choose to stick around?
Because he says he wants to be the guy. Last year he was the backup and gained over 1,000 yards and scored 2 touchdowns on kickoff returns. But he wanted to be the guy. Instead of carrying it 15 times a game, he wants to carry it 30, and we're going to let him do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm reading now that Donnell actually may be the number one guy in Philly. Have you heard from him?
Well, he's been around a little bit here lately because they're taking the break. Nick will know this better than I do. They're taking the break between their mini camps or something and actually camp starting. And he did some with the first offense. Most of the time, he said he was out in the slot, but he did a lot of reps with the first offense. Yeah,
that's fantastic, man. What a credit to your program and the system really that you guys run, and to have one guy go away and could be a huge part of the Eagles' offense to have another guy ready to go. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it feels really good. Yeah, we're old style. It's the kind offensive linemen like to play in. We actually come downhill and double team and block at angles and all that instead of giving ground and taking it.
Is that a big selling point when you're out recruiting for offensive linemen?
That's how we try to sell it, sure.
And does it work?
It works in a lot of cases, and what it really works with is tailbacks. Because tailbacks don't want to be in the dang spread. Where they get the ball
they're
15
secondary.
times. Yeah, I mean, they're secondary. They want to be 7 yards deep in the backfield with a great big fullback in front of them and getting the ball 30 times. They like that.
That's the voice of Rocky Long on Extra 1360 Fox Sports San Diego. Coach, I know leading up to football season and still being a broadcaster in football, I look at all the work that has to be done going into it, and I start getting a little bit of anxiety. Saturday, I was like, oh, my God, what did I sign up for? What am I doing? Where you have got 2 mountains worth of work to do. Do you get that, or do you just now know that you're going to be fine, you're going to make it through the season, or do you still look at it as like this monumental journey that you're about to undertake?
Well, I don't. I get a queasy feeling in my stomach around July the 4th because I know it's coming. We start practice August the 1st. I start getting real nervous, and I have a lot of anxiety because, honestly, you don't know. You have confidence in what you have there, but you don't know anything about it until the first regular game, and that's the Sky Show deal. But we won't know what kind of team we have until we actually play somebody else.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by. Best of luck, and we'll get to talk to you more as we are now Extra 1360.
Yeah, we're excited about that,
the
too.
The home of Aztecs football. Rocky Long, thanks for the time, buddy. All right, there's head coach, Aztecs football, Rocky Long. Enjoy your car wash that you're going through today. Hitting up all the stations, aren't you? Appreciate the talk, Coach. All right, there's Rocky Long. Always love talking a little bit of football. See, I learned something there.